you've had a brain tumour, you've gone blind, you can't walk, you've gone to the welfare state and said, I need some support. And they've said, what, tough? Or you've got to wait months and months?
I was knocked back the first time.
Well, you were rejected for support?
I was rejected for support and I've had to appeal it.
Based on what?
Based on a point system. Mobility, I've got 2 points on their criteria. When the medical advisor actually phoned up, asked for a face-to-face interview, and their doctor that phoned me up when I told him that I had severe clonus in my legs, he said he thought I meant Crohn's, as in...
Oh, for goodness sake.
And I was trying to explain to him, I had to explain to him what neurological conditions were.
Is because saying I've got a brain tumour, I'm blind and I can barely walk wasn't enough for him?
No.
Richard, what are you living off, my friend?
Basically support of my family.
So you're totally reliant on the charity of your family to survive?
I had stolen money 2 weeks ago to go for my last brain surgery in Birmingham.
And what would you do if your family weren't in a position to support you?
I'd be dead by now. The only reason I can phone you now is because I was going to a food bank and they've been really helpful, put me in touch with loads of people, and they've actually given me a SIM card from Vodafone.
Because you couldn't afford to pay your phone bill?
Yeah, just so I can get in touch with the medical people and everything, because I've got 3 different neurologists in different parts of the country. I've got one in Coventry, one in Birmingham, and one in Liverpool. And I have to travel to appointments and everything. And I couldn't get in touch with them because I didn't have credit, so they gave me a SIM card that's got 6 months worth of calls and texts on it.
And if you didn't have that, you'd be totally cut off. You'd be completely isolated.
Totally cut off from the world.
Oh, Richard.
My world now is basically listening to podcasts.
Because you can't go out?
Can't do nothing.
How long has this been going on?
2 years now.
And that was when you were first diagnosed?
I went blind overnight. I had a brain tumour that compressed my optic nerve.
Right.
And all the problems have all stemmed on from there.
And how old, if you don't mind me asking?
I'll be 45 in a few weeks.
And until you got that brain tumour, fit and healthy, working?
Fit and healthy, worked all my life. I was only working in catering. I worked my way up to being a chef.
And you probably thought, like most people do, that God forbid, if that did happen to you, if those, if you did fall on hard times for whatever reason, you've done the right thing, you've worked, you paid your taxes.
I wasn't even told about it until a year and 4 months after going blind.
But nobody even flagged it to you?
No.
Oh, Richard, it's an absolute disgrace what you've been through. I mean, you don't need me to tell you that. What's the point of having a safety net? What's the point of having a welfare state if it's not there when people get a brain tumour and go blind and lose the ability to walk? What's the point of it? I'm so sorry. I wish I could help. I wish I could do something.
Well, I'm still here. That's the main thing. I'm still here for my children.
Do they live with you?
Yeah. And that's what gets me through it. Just getting up every day for them.
Have you had to make cutbacks in terms of your family as well?
Yeah, a lot of cutbacks.
What sort of thing?
Well, my children have recently gone to college, my twins, and I couldn't get them the right equipment and stuff to start the college course.
What, stationery and those sorts of things?
Laptops and stuff like that, and internet access.
Yeah. But Richard, you're doing your best. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. This is the fault of the people who intentionally and knowingly have slashed the benefits in this country over the last 10 years. And you are bearing the brunt of the consequences, and it is absolutely shameful. And when people call in and tell me, oh, people on benefits, they should be working...
I was even fined last month for picking up my medication because they've made another cock up with my benefits.
So sorry. Have you tried speaking to your MP, Richard?
£57. I had to pay it by the 1st of March.
Right.
or else I'd have been taken to court.
Basically, everywhere you go saying, I really need help, you're told, tough, there isn't any.
Yeah.
Have you tried speaking to your MP about it?
I met my MP at my local food bank.
Okay.
And they put me in touch with Citizens Advice and a charity called Christians Against Poverty, which have been absolutely brilliant.
But your MP needs to be lobbying.
Person, but that Christians Against Poverty.
Richard, it's not enough, I'm afraid. It's not enough. Your MP needs to be shouting at the Department for Work and Pensions and not stopping until you get the support that you need, sir, because that is just not good enough. They shouldn't be fobbing you off to charities. You deserve more than that.
If it weren't for the charities in my local area that I didn't know about until recently, I don't know what I'd be doing now.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it, and they're doing amazing work, but the state should be there for you too. Richard, I keep banging, you shouldn't have to, don't get me wrong, but keep banging down the door of your MP's office, talk to the council, talk to Citizens Advice. You shouldn't have to. I can hear you're exhausted. You've got enough on your plate, you've got enough on your mind without having to do this. But you should not be waiting as long as you've waited 2 years without the support. It's an absolute disgrace. And you're not alone, I'm afraid. You are not alone in this, because that's how our welfare system now works, or doesn't work, for people like Richard, worked all his life, paid his taxes, fallen on hard times, and that is the response from the welfare system that has been created intentionally over the last 14 years. And it's poor people like Richard that are bearing the brunt of it. So when politicians talk about people on benefits needing to work, toughening up the restrictions, think of Richard. Because there are many Richards out there that are bearing the brunt of that nonsense. People who are on benefits they don't need, of course they should be working. But there are many Richards that are caught up in this ideological drive to erode the welfare state and the safety net that should be there for all of us when we go through things like that. It appalls me. It disgusts me. It is absolutely not good enough. Richard, stay on the line if you would. We'll take your name and number and see if there's anything we can do to help, because that is absolutely not on in this day and age. Thank you for your call, Rich. I wish you all the best.